Good afternoon, dear students. Today we will discuss, or I will give you a video lecture on the topic that is concept of cross-pollinated crop. This is a lecture 7 of and a part of unit 2nd. So let's start. Myself, Dr. Neha Srivastava, Assistant Professor, School of Agriculture, and the outlines which we will discuss in this lecture, or which I will deliver you as a video lecture in this lecture on the topics that are what are the importance of topics. That's a common point which we discuss in every lecture. So it's change according to the topics. So what is the importance of topic? Then, as we are studying about the cross-pollination, concept of cross-pollination, so it's important for you all to know that what is cross-pollination first. Then, if it is cross-pollination, if any crop is cross-pollinated crop, then how we can say that it is cross-pollinated? So behind this, some mechanism are there which promote the crop for to be a cross-pollinated. We will discuss about all the mechanism. Then the genetic consequence of cross-pollination. If any crop is cross-pollinated, then what are their genetic consequence? After that, the advantages and disadvantages. Some advantages and disadvantages are there of cross-pollinated crop. Next is learning outcome and differences. So let's start. The first is importance of topic. So the topic, what is the topic? That is concept of cross-pollinated crop. Okay, first I will link this lecture to the earlier lecture or to your course subject, that for crop improvement, as your subject name is crop improvement, so for crop improvement, first we have studied about the plant genetic resource, that from where we can get material and how we can conserve the seed material or plant. We have studied many methods. After that, about the trait, because for crop improvement we must know about the trait. The trait are of two types, that is quantitative and qualitative. So we have already discussed about that. After that, we have discussed about the self-pollinated crop, because for crop improvement you need to know. So that's why, so crop improvement, for crop improvement what we need, that is the about, first we should know about the which type of crop is that, either it is self-pollinated or cross-pollinated, means about the flower through which we have to do breeding, so about the flower, that flower in what type of reproduction is there. Okay, and after that the pollination, which type of pollination is happened in this crop. For that we have studied about the self-pollination, which is over. Now we will proceed to the cross-pollinated crop. So for that is the importance of topic, that why you have to study about the cross-pollinated concept of cross-pollinated crop, that I have told you now only, that for genetic improvement of a crop species, means if you want to improve, okay, any crop species, so for that these first two things you should know, that is reproduction and pollination. Okay, because this will only help you while doing breeding, or for selecting the breeding procedure, that which type of breeding method you want to apply for crop improvement. So, okay, so that because of that reason we need to know the concept of cross or self-pollinated crop. So in this slide we will study about the in this lecture we will study about the concept of cross-pollinated crop. Okay, now the concept of cross-pollinated crop. Okay, pollination two types, it's of two types, that is self and cross. So what is pollination? That is the process by which pollen grain, means it is a one type of process, you can say, that by which the pollen grains, means pollen grains transferred from the anthers. Where pollen grains are present? In the anthers. From anthers to the stigma, which is the female part, that is known as pollination, and it's of two type. Okay, that is self and cross. If it is self pollination, to that we said that it is autogamy. Autogamy means marriage within the plant, okay, or within the flower, in the same flower only. Though allogamy means marriage. Okay, autogamy and allogamy. Autogamy means if marriage, gamy means marriage. Okay, so if marriage happens within the flower, in the same flower only, that is called autogamy or self-pollinated. That's why its name is self-pollinated. Means it pollinates the same female of the flower. Okay, and cross pollination means allogamy. Then if pollination occurs in the different flowers, that is within, or different flowers of the same plant or different flowers of the other plants, different plants, so that is called allogamy. Now let's start about cross pollination. You all know very well about cross pollination. Okay, and in this diagram it's very clear that what is cross, self and geitonogamy. Okay, so you can see that geitonogamy is same plant but position means it's change, position of flower is changed, and cross pollination means in different plant, self in within the same plant. So this is a, by this you can understand that what is cross pollination. Okay, for cross pollination means transfer of pollen grain from a flower. Okay, transfer of pollen grain from flower to the stigma of the other plant. Okay, which may be brought, means this cross pollination need one immediator, or one means it needs something to transfer the pollen. So what the main is the wind. Through wind the pollen can transfer. Okay, next is insect. So and water also, some plants transfer pollen through water also. So I will tell you in further slide about that. What is the medium of pollination in cross pollination? So this is called as cross pollination, in which pollen grains transfer from the flower of the one plant to the other plant. Means pollen grain transfer from one plant to other plant through any medium, or it may be brought about by the wind or insect. Okay, many of the crop plants are naturally cross pollinated. Yes, many crops are the naturally cross pollinated, and it leads the self pollination 5 to 10%. If any crop is cross pollinated, then it will cross, means cross self pollination may also occur, which will be only 5 to 10% only. Like we have studied in cross self pollinated species that cross pollination occurs about 5%, approx 5%. So like this, in cross pollinated species also self pollination occur, but only little bit, that is 5 to 10%. Now, so I have told you that if any crop is cross pollinated, so some mechanism are there behind that. So what are that mechanism? Which are that mechanism that promote that this crop will be cross pollinated? Okay, here one mistake is there. Mechanism promoting cross pollinated. Okay, I will change it. This is the this will be the cross pollinated. Okay, mechanism. So some mechanism are there which will promote for cross pollinated. What are that mechanism? Dicleny, dichogamy, heterostyle, hercogamy, self-incompatibility, and male sterility. So these are the 5-6 mechanisms which promote cross pollination. Okay, so dicleny we will study. I will tell you one by one about each. mechanism. Okay, so let's start. So first one is dichotomy. Dichotomy means unisexuality. Means if it is a condition in which flower is either staminate or pistillate. Okay, what is staminate and pistillate? Stamen is a male. Stamen is a male organ, male reproductive organ. So which carry pollen grains, and pistil is a female. So either male flower will be there or female will be there. That's why it's written staminate or pistillate. Okay, so if it is like that, then we will say that it is dichotomy. Then it will go for unisexual. It is unisexual and it will go for cross pollination. Then monoecious. Monoecious, what is monoecious? It is staminate and pistillate flower occur in the same plant. Means if it is staminate or pistillate, but if it is on the same plant, like maize. Okay, so if it is in the same plant, then or in the separate inflorescences also. Yes, here it is written that staminate and pistillate flowers occur in the same plant, either in the same inflorescences. Means if it is present in the same inflorescences, okay, staminate and pistillate, but the position is changed, and after that also it leads to, because of some reason, it leads to cross pollination and but in some plants inflorescences are different, like in maize. Okay, so this is monoecious. Okay, that is monoecious. Then next is dioecious. Means male and female flowers are present on different plants. That is dioecious, like papaya. Okay, so in that is, it is written here that such species are male or female. Means if in one male flower will be in another plant and female will be on another plant. Okay, and which will be governed by a single gene only. Means single is male or female only. So that will be dioecious. Example, papaya, date palm, etc. So that is about dichotomy. It's clear. Now I will show you one. Here it is written there about monoecious and dioecious. I told you about monoecious means monoecious, dioecious. Monoecious example is corn, which I have given you. Now dioecious is date palm. You can see here male is on another plant and female is on another plant. So it's example of dioecious. Now I want 10 differences between monoecious and dioecious. So it's your, just write your as a homework or whatever you can, so that if I will ask, so you can tell me about the monoecious and dioecious. So you have to know about the differences between monoecious and dioecious. Now second is about dichogamy. We have to know about the dichogamy. It's a mechanism which promotes cross pollination. Dichogamy means, in this what happened, the anther and stigma of hermaphrodite flower mature and at different time, which facilitate cross pollination. Means if the anther and stigma which is present in the same flower, hermaphrodite means, what is hermaphrodite? Means if male and female are present in the same flower, but it matures at different time, then also it will promote cross pollination. So that is called dichogamy. So under that, two conditions are there. That is protogyny. Okay, it may be happen that sometime male organ will be mature first, and sometime female will be mature first. So if any plant male organ will be mature first, that is androecium. Okay, what is the male organ called altogether? That is called androecium. So if androecium mature first, then it is called as protoandry. Okay, so the common example is maize. I have told you in maize practical also about that. And protogyny means if the female mature first, that is gynoecium. What is the female organ altogether called? That is gynoecium. So if gynoecium mature first, means that then we can say that it is protogyny. And the example is bajra. In this what happened, it is dichogamy, means male and female are in the same flower, but maturation time is different, then also it will proceed for dichogamy. Next is heterostyly. What is heterostyly? Hetero means different, okay, styly means style, okay. So style of the means on which style and filament, so if style and female filament, which is a male reproductive organ, so if it is of different length, then it is known as heterostyly. Okay, heterostyly is also two types, means two means that is distyly and tristyly. What is distyly? Okay, the heterostyly example is linseed also. So distyly is means if the flower morphology has more than two, means two morphology, not more than. If the flower morphology has two morphology, okay, so that is known as distyly. And if the flower morphology has three types of morphology, that is known as tristyly. In distyly, what are the two type of morphology? Why I am saying that it will be two type of morphology? Means if style is long, here it is written on the length of the style. If style is long, okay, and stamens are short, then it is another morphology, one morphology. And in second morphology, what will be there? Style will be short, but stamens are long, and you can see here in this that, so it is known as the two morphology of distyly, okay, means in one the style will be long and stamen will be short, and in other morphology the style will be short and stamen will be long. Here you can see that in this flower, and the example is given primula, and you have heard about the pin and thumb flower, okay. So one is pin. What is pin? In which style is long, and thumb in which style is short. So this will, it can't pollinate the self plant, self flower, but if the different morphology will come in contact, then definitely it will take pollination. So this is a heterostyly, and it will go for cross pollination. Like this tristyly is there, means what is there, what are there in this? If style is in three morphology, here it's given, in which in one you can see that the style is long, another style is normal, okay, and in another one is it is short. Normal means intermediate, and in another one style is short. So we can say that the pollination can't occur in the same flower. It needs some mediator or some medium to transfer the pollen. So in that type of flower, example is lythrum. It is tristyly flower. And tristyly flower, so what in first I have told you that style is long, and stamens means it is style are long, and in second one style is medium or normal, and in third one style is short, okay. So this is example of tristyly. Now next is these three over. Now next is fourth one is, what is that? Hercogamy. Hercogamy means if flower has any barrier due to which it can't pollinate. So in this diagram you can see that the structure of flower is like that it can't pollinate. Why? See, in this the anthers are, it's downwards, petals are there, anthers downward, ovary is, see where is the ovary? Style is there, ovary is there. So structure of the flower is like that it can't pollinate the same flower, okay. Anther, see, you can see the anther and stamens. Ovary, where is the ovary? So some barrier are there. And one more example is there, that in lucerne or alfalfa, the stigma of the flower is covered by the waxy, means wax film. So it does not become receptive to take the anthers or pollen grains. So it can't be receptive. Okay, it become unreceptive, and it does not become receptive to take the anthers or pollen grains of the same flower, because of that waxy film which is present on the flower, on the stigma. And who broke this waxy film? Honeybee. Okay, and it's broken by honeybee. When honeybee will broke that wax, then only it can pollinate the flower. Okay, so this is a hercogamy. Now the next one is self-incompatibility. Okay, self-incompatibility means male and female are present in the flower, but it can't pollinate. So one example I have told you, that is pinanthrum. So male and female both are present, but it can't pollinate. So that is called self-incompatibility, means it can't pollinate the same flower or its own female organ. Okay, that's why it is called as self-incompatibility. An example is mustard, tobacco, sunflower, radish. These all are under the self-incompatibility. Due to this reason, these plant means it's necessary to go for a cross pollination. Means failure of pollen from a flower to fertilize the same flower, okay, or other flower of the same plant. That is self-incompatibility. Now next one is male sterility. Okay, it's a very big topic, but just I told you in one. I will give you another slide on this. That what is male sterility means absence of functional pollen grain. Pollen grains are not functional. It is unfunctional in the hermaphrodite flower. So that is called male sterility. In this you can see that one example is given. That one normal flower is there in which anthers are there, so it is fertile. But in it, which plant flower is male sterile, in this the pollen grains which are present means distorted anther. In this the anthers are not functional. Okay, it is sterile. So that's why it is called male sterility. So it can't pollinate the same flower. Next one is that is the, now we come to know about the mechanism of cross-pollinated crop. Now what are the genetic consequences of cross-pollination? First is that what it preserve and promote heterozygosity. Yes, it is heterozygotes because pollination takes place between the different species and plants. Next one is it cross-pollination. Pollinated species show inbreeding depression. The cross-pollinated species show inbreeding depression because it is cross-pollinated, and inbreeding depression is the inbreeding. The process of inbreeding is decreases. That why it show inbreeding depression and goes for a considerable heterosis. Usually hybrid and synthetic without reducing heterozygosity. Means hybrid and synthetic variety whatever develop it's without reducing heterozygosity, the variety is developed. That is the genetic consequence of cross-pollinated crop. Now what are the advantages? First is the offspring or the F1 with what will be developed, it will be healthier than that of the self-pollinated species. Next one is the seeds are produced in large number and are more viable. The seed will be viable and it will produce in large number. As we have studied in self-pollinated, that the production of seed is very less. The seed develop and germinate properly and grow into better plants. Yes, results in new varieties because cross-pollinated can be carried out between two different varieties of the same species or even two species. Means we can develop a new variety because cross-pollinated can be carried between the two varieties. We can carry cross-pollination between the two varieties, so that we can transfer the character of one plant to the other plants. Now some disadvantages are also there. It is not always certain as a pollinating agent is always required and it may or may not be available at the suitable time. Yes, sometimes what happen for pollination, the pollinating agents are not available. Whatever agents it's require, it's not available. So pollination may be not up to that percentage. Okay, so it also may not be available due to some reason. Second one is pollen grains have to be produced in abundance to ensure chances of pollination. Yes, like in self pollination, the pollen grains require it's very less, but for cross pollination, the number of pollen grains should be large so that it can pollinate the more number of species, because it needs pollinating agent, and because of this there is a lot of wastage of pollen is there. Third one is it is uneconomical for plants as they have to produce flowers that are large, perfumed and with nectar to attract insects. Yes, in this it is uneconomical for plants that they produce flowers that are large. Flowers is large, but means it should be perfumed and with, so that it can attract insects. So these are the disadvantages of cross-pollinated, but some good advantages are also there, by which many breeders are using this to transfer the characters to develop a new variety. So these are the points which I have told you in this lecture, through this video lecture, that what is cross pollination, then what are the mechanism, dicliny, then hercogamy, heterostyle, self incompatibility, and monoecious, dioecious, male sterility. These are the some mechanism which promote cross pollinated. Then what are the genetic consequence? What will be the genetics of that cross pollinated species, its advantages and disadvantages. Then the learning outcomes. Okay, we will learning outcomes. What is the learning outcome? That now you learn about that how you can recognize the cross pollinated species. First you have to see that the flower is bisexual or not. If it is bisexual, then you can go for the position of anther and position of male and female influences, and after that also, if the male and female are present in the same flower, after that also it is if it is heterostyle, then it can't pollinate the same flower, then it will go for cross pollination. So these are the some mechanism which tell you about that the crop is cross pollinated crop. And what are the genetic consequence? If it is cross pollinated, then what are the genetic consequence? So these are the some learning outcomes. And references, I have told you that from where I have some images link it is given, and I have referred the book also, and I took the help of Google also something for some points, so it's written here. So this is about the concept of cross pollinated crop. And in second video lecture I will told you will be the second part of the cross pollinated crop. In that I will told you that what are the agents, pollinating agents through which cross pollination happens and how. Okay, then in next video lecture I will told you about that. So till today this much only. Thank you students, thank you very much.